Salvē, and welcome. Today we're in John chapter 4, taking a look at verse 9 to finish off this page. Here is our rubric, which I'm afraid you're not going to have the pleasure of not seeing because my arm's covering it this time, because our book is protecting us from light saturation. So that's enough time. Let's get started. Dicit ergo ei mulier illa Samaritana, cum modo tu Iudais, cum sis bibere a me pascis, quae sum mulier Samaritana. Non enim cutuntur Iudai Samaritanis. And there we have it. First word, dicit, we've seen that enough times before not to bother parsing. Ergo, therefore, ei mulier. Mulier here is in a nominative and singular feminine form, so the subject of dicit. Therefore, the woman, a woman, says, a, dative, from is ed, to him, that Samaritan one, so that would be nominative, singular, feminine again, these two together. Gosh, and I did bother looking it up finally, Samaritan, one. In the Greek, I forgot to look up how to spell it. That was a bloodbath. Okay. Quote marks, direct discourse again. Did we? Yeah, we closed it down there. Good. Quo modo, how? To, so from tu itibitete, this is the nominative singular form. How? I'm going to leave this alone until we get a look at our verb. I'm just going to parse these. Iudaios, you've got us there, so that's nominative, singular, and masculine. It's telling us more about who tu is. Cum with cis. This is could be an ablative if there was such a noun or adjective that started with the stem was just s. That's not the case. Cis here, which you should stop covering, is a form of sum. Cum needs an ablative to be a preposition. So without an ablative noun or adjective, but instead of verb, this means we have cum the adverb. I'll come back to translating that and what that means. I think we've talked about it before, but I'll do that later. A, prepositional phrase with me. A takes the ablative. And note that we don't have a B right there. We don't have the B because acts kind of like an in English. The consonant only appears before certain vowels. It disappears before most consonants. Likewise with this. So, singular. Poscus. There's our verb. So we have posco, poscere. Is a second person singular, and it is off the present tense, stem, active, and it is indicative. It means to ask, to beg for, something along like that, with the idea of earnestly ask from it. Though, humorously in the English, in the Latin, we only have dicit, but apparently it was asking earnestly in some way. I don't know, let's actually look at the Greek there. Where did it go? Lege. Yeah, the Latin is directly mimicking the Greek. I don't see how that's earnest. Maybe the earnest idea is because he's using an imperative rather than a subjunctive, a hortatory subjunctive. May I have? Well, we should move on. So, how, present tense, do you, a Jew, insert the word, the article there. The Greek has a participle, but Latin doesn't have to. You being a Jew, cum. Oh, no. Ooh, I misread that. Sorry, I forgot about the cum. We can handle that now. So cis here is from sum, but it's the subjunctive form. It is the second person singular, present, active, subjunctive. And with cum, we have a cum clause. So it could be adversative, it could be causal, it could be circumstantial. So circumstantial when or while Adversative, although. Causal would be since or because. How do you, because you are a Jew, ask earnestly from me? How do you, when you are a Jew, ask earnestly from me? How do you, although you are a Jew, ask earnestly from me? I think adversative is probably the best, though circumstantial is another good option. I forgot temporal. Temporal is the other option. You, although you are this morning I was working with a couple of kids on Latin. We were reading the pericope for Trinity 5 of the one-year lectionary. And there were, I think, 2 or 3 temporal or circumstantial, I suppose the other option, cum clauses in there. And then one actual cum preposition, but that was in 1 Peter. So anyway, yeah. I like it when we run across them. And it's an interesting way of doing things. And it adds spice to the translation. But we should move on. Although you are, I should move that over here, Jew, ask earnestly from me to drink. So we're looking at, so be better, you got RE, that's present. Exactly like that, active and infinitive. Quae, from qui quae quod, so that could be nominative singular feminine, or it could be neuter plural. Sum is singular, and mulier is also singular feminine, so that makes no sense. Nam, sing, fem, first singular pres, act. Indicative, don't need to parse that one again. Who am, we'd say a woman, Samaritana, specifically a woman, a indefinite, nominative, singular, feminine, Maritan. Spelled correctly, yes. Another post-positive enim, so the start of a new clause with non. For ku tuntur, untur is our third plural off of the present stem, passive ending, and this is indicative. If we had you die, you could barely see that. Maybe you can see that. That is a nominative, plural, masculine, for Jews, non, do not, and that would be associate with, or deal with, have dealings with. Sorry, I need to move that down there. With, and then we got Samaratanis. So then we get the IS right there. We've seen it before, Samaritana. So that is a first declension. Yeah, therefore, yeah, this is dative or ablative. In the Greek, at least, we have a verb with a prepositional prefix, specifically the cum version word in Greek, so sun. And that could be the case here. Ko could be from cum, but I would expect an in or an m right there to be certain. So I'm not going to say that. In this case, I think Jerome might be adapting this word to follow the Greek more clearly, which does have a dative here, which this is dative or ablative, technically, and plural feminine or masculine. If it's an adjective, it would be masculine. Or it could be that this word in Latin just takes the dative as its object. If I have the time to check that out, I will leave a note in here to let you know. With Samaritans. Period. Close quote. There we have it. All right, let's take a look at it in its own context before going to verse 1. If we can see it. Even I am having trouble. Therefore, woman says to him, that Samaritan one, how do you, although you are a Jew, ask earnestly from me to drink, who am a woman, a Samaritan? For Jews do not associate with Samaritans. So far, so good. Now, 1. Just as therefore Jesus perceived that Pharisees heard Jesus makes more disciples and baptizes than John, although Jesus was not baptizing, but his disciples were, he left behind Jews and went again into Galilee. It was necessary for him to go across through Samaria. Therefore, Jesus comes into town of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near farm which Jacob gave to Joseph, his own son. But there was there fountain of Jacob. Jesus, therefore, having become tired from journey, began to sit thus on spring. Hour was about 6th. Woman comes down from Samaria to draw water. Jesus says to her, give to me to drink. Earnestly. For his disciples had gone away into city in order that they might buy food. Therefore woman says to him, that Samaritan one, how do you, although you are a Jew, ask from me to drink, who am a woman, a Samaritan one? So doubly bad, apparently. No, in the culture. For Jews do not associate with Samaritans. No, I don't mean evil. There are certainly cultures that thought that, but the Jewish culture was not the case. Now, the Samaritan, yes. Samaritan Jews probably would think most of them evil. But women, even in the Jewish culture, as amazing as it was for humanity in general, women were second-class citizens. Not as terrible second-class citizens as in, say, the Greek or the Roman culture or Arabic culture, Egyptian culture, gosh. But still, testimony of women was not as trustworthy. You could probably look into that. This is not the time or place. But there we go. Thank you for taking a look at this with me. I hope it has been helpful for you, and I hope you have a very good day. Wally.
What? You're still awake? Why are you still here then? You should be reading a book. Or if not reading, you should watch one of these other videos. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. See you next week.